Hey guys, what's up? Zax here. Today we are here with Co-op Career Mode from Russia. You can see we're starting on pole position here today. Nearly 3/4 of a second ahead of Rosberg in second place. So really good lap time there in qualifying to get us on pole position. And you can see, starting on pole, no percent chance of rain. We're going to start on the option tyres. And actually had a couple of problems throughout this race actually. Parts of my steering wheel weren't working. I couldn't actually change the fuel mix throughout this whole race, which was a bit confusing. My keyboard also wasn't working, so I think I must have disconnected something whilst I was in qualifying. It sort of made everything mess up a little bit, but didn't matter too much. I still had DRS in this race, so I still had that use, which was good, but I couldn't switch between the lean and the fast fuel mixture, which is sometimes a bit annoying because I wanted to be able to defend and attack on certain cars, but it is what it is. We weren't going to just restart just because of that, really. But anyway, starting on pole position here today in Russia, we just need to get a decent start because there is a big run down to the first sort of major stopping point. The lights are out and away we go. We get a decent start here. A little bit of wheel spin. Rosberg gets a decent start here. You can see he's down or inside here. We try and sort of not really chop across him, but we try and get as close to him as possible so we can just slot him behind him into the slipstream as we head down to turn 1 and hopefully go down the inside here as we're braking. Hopefully a little bit later than Rosberg down the inside. We've got the move done and we've moved up into the lead of the race. Alonso's climbed up into third place here. If you look at the championship, Rosberg has had a terrible run this season so far, and second place for him here would be very good, but we're going to try our best to make sure he doesn't win it and get those extra points. I mean, he's not really in the championship fight here, but if we can stay ahead of him, it'll be good. Make sure he's got less and less points, and obviously that's what we want. We want to make sure we have as much of an advantage over every single person in this field as possible. Will didn't exactly get the best of qualifying. He started in 8th place, I think, nearly 2 seconds off pole position. And look at this, guys. I thought this was actually the sort of next sort of corner like this, the fast left-hander, and that's why I didn't actually brake where I wanted to there. I went wide there and lost positions, lost a position to Rosberg, but most importantly, the time to him, which is a bit annoying. But I honestly thought it was another part of the track here. And you can see the next lap, the car just slides out there. I wasn't on the curb or anything, which was kind of confusing to me, but it is what it is. And you can see towards the end of the lap number 3, we've got purple sectors through the middle sector there, and through these final couple of corners here, we're going to hopefully get a good amount of speed through here and possibly be able to get the fastest lap of the race. So you've got 2 corners to go. We've sort of caught Rosberg over these last couple of laps here since we had that mistake on lap number 1 here. So we'll see what the time is across the start finish line. A bit sideways through the last corner, 1:43.335. So 1.4 seconds behind Rosberg. About 2 seconds ahead of Alonso, but on to lap number 5, we've got the DRS now, we've got another fastest lap there, down to a 43.2 pretty much, and we're right up behind Rosberg, but it wasn't quite enough. We had to go to lap number 6, where we're still setting purple sectors here, still pulling away from Alonso. This is where we had a really good chance on Rosberg here. Basically, that corner I went off at the start of the race, you guys know what I mean. This corner right here, I get confused because it looks very similar, just in terms of the layout of the scenery and everything, to not this turn coming up here, but the next left-hander going up here, past the DRS zone. This is the corner it makes me look like. I don't know if it's just me, but it sort of looks a little bit like this. And I think I just got a bit confused on the first lap. I was talking to Will, obviously, on Skype as well, so maybe just got a bit distracted and completely forgot. But lap number 6, a bit of a mistake there. Rosberg was quite early on the brakes there, and I was braking quite late, and I had to sort of avoid him there, and that took me off the track and destroying a banner at the side of the track, a sponsorship banner, which was a bit annoying to me. It lost me a couple of seconds once again. We closed that gap down to about a second once again as we headed into the pit stops here on lap number 7, actually pitting quite late actually. 7 laps on the softer tyres in this race, and I think, was it going to be 6 laps on the other tyres? So yeah, you can see what I mean. A bit of a weird strategy from Williams there, but I suppose it is what it is. Switching over to the medium compound tyres here, which are the prime tyres for this race. 3.7 stop again. I swear you can't get anything better or anything worse than like a 3.7 stop in this game, which is just like a bit weird to me, but I suppose I don't know, I would kind of like to see, them make mistakes from time to time, but it would get annoying, wouldn't it, if you're in like a really big battle for a race or something, and then you get the pit stop people just messing up. It would be kind of annoying, so I suppose I do understand it being the same every single time. But who knows, maybe it might be a nice addition to have it as an option or something. But anyway, lap number 8 here, you can see what DRS, we're obviously down on our pace lap because of the pit stop towards the start of the lap time here. We've really closed the gap here to Rosberg though, less than a second, and if we just hold it together through these last couple of turns here, we should actually be able to get in the DRS zone down the main straight where we should be able to overtake. We've gained a bit more time through these last couple of turns here, and I think we should be in the zone to overtake Rosberg down this main straight here. We're right up behind him. I think the DRS detection point was just there as well, just before the last turn. So yes, a slow lap time because of the pits obviously, but we've closed the gap to Rosberg to 0.4 of a second. But most importantly, we're going to get that DRS, which is activated now, going to the inside, overtaking Rosberg, taking the lead of this Russian Grand Prix once again. We lost it on the first lap of the race. It took us to lap number 9 to actually get the lead back here today, and that's good for us. At least we are leading. Anyway, lap number 12. This is where it got a bit interesting because I didn't exactly pull away from Rosberg as I'd have liked, and I sort of was extending the track quite a bit here in Russia because you can do that without getting penalties, so I thought might as well, considering the AI is still pretty good around here. So you can see we're a decent amount of time up on our pace lap here, but Rosberg goes to the outside here. I run side by side with him, leaving the space, leave my car width, but he drives off the track. He does pretty much what I did to him earlier, which was trying to go around the outside and just end up going to the wall, but I left him enough space there, and he just didn't go for, well, he just didn't go for the gap that I left and just went off the track, and actually lets Alonso go into second place here, which is quite big for the championship actually, because, well, it is big for Will I suppose at least, because he's sort of in a bit of a battle with Rosberg in the championship, so that's kind of important for him. And wow, you can see Will has dropped down to 5th place as well. He was actually in 4th place, but once he saw the drama with Alonso and Rosberg on the mini-map, he got a little bit sort of like, yes, we can get something done here, but then he lost the place to Hamilton whilst doing so, so that was kind of frustrating for him, I suppose. But I suppose it is what it is, and you've got to make sure you don't make mistakes in this Car with Career mode, especially because the championship is so close. I mean, in going into this round, I was drawing on points with Hamilton. I think that just shows how close this championship really was at the start of this episode. But now we've got half a lap to go, and we can pick up 25 points here in Russia and go into the leader championship without any sort of drawing or anything, not drawing on points with anyone this time. We will be leading the championship. We've been leading the championship for a long time actually, since I think like round 2 or 3 we've been leading the championship here. In this last lap of the race I wasn't really paying much attention. I was like, yes, we've got this win in the bag here. Well, nearly 6 seconds to the car behind. I was like, let's just take it easy, not go fast at all. No need to risk going over a curb and it's spinning us out or anything. So I was like, just take it slowly this last lap of the race here, Alex, and bring home the 25 points. Exactly what I was doing, but it was actually, obviously, I was talking to Will and he was sort of explaining his situation, which was he was in a battle with Hamilton, but Hamilton had just got a bit of a gap over him. And somehow he said that he said that Hamilton had gained like 2 seconds in the middle sector, which is like so weird, isn't it? I don't really ever see the AI going that quickly. I know it's the Mercedes and all, but 2 seconds in one sector is a bit too much, I'd say. But anyway, last couple of turns here, you can see my pace lap was like 3 seconds down. I was like, okay, we've sort of won this here. I mean, Rosberg and Alonso should be battling over second place here. Maybe I backed off a little bit too much here, but luckily for me, they didn't catch me. And around the final corner here, we're happy. We get the win. The 25 points, most importantly. Pole to win. I think second fastest lap as well after Hamilton. He somehow just pipped me to that, which is kind of annoying. But he was fast, so I suppose that is what it is. But I don't know why it says everyone's +1 lap. It said that on Will's screen as well, so that was really confusing for everyone. Obviously, we all finished on the same lap there, which is just weird. But I suppose the game sometimes has mistakes like that, but it doesn't really matter. We all know the positions were correct, and that's how the championship looks there then. A bigger gap over Hamilton, which is most important, and Will actually gets up into 3rd place, which is good for him. Vettel's 4th, Ricciardo, and Rosberg still in 6th place here. He's having a terrible season, and you can see just down the order here, you've got loads of people actually scoring points. Down to Maldonado, is that? No, sorry, that's down to Gutierrez in 18th place there. So only 4 cars haven't scored, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode. I'll try and remember to show the constructor standings next time. I did actually kind of forget this episode, and I actually think I forgot for quite a few episodes actually, so I'll try and show you that. But I think we are leading that Constructors' Championship, mainly due to Mercedes and Red Bull not really performing up to where we'd expect them to. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It's been Alex, I'm out of here. Goodbye.